Hello everyone, this is our lecture number 24. In this lecture we discuss one problem based on flanged beam or T-beam. So here we have given question, calculate factored moment for a T-beam with following data. Width of flange is equal to 1500 mm, depth of beam is equal to 750 mm, width of web is equal to 300 mm, flange thickness is equal to 100 mm, beam is reinforced with 7 bars of 28 mm dia at an effective cover of 50 mm. Take M15 and Fe250. Now second question, he asked what UDL the above beam can carry if it is supported on 6 meter span. Means first we have to find the factored moment. After finding the factored moment, we have to find the load which carry by beam of 6 meter span. So here we have to solve for moment of resistance and load. So first we have to write what we have given in our problem. So let's begin its solution and write the values which we have given in our problem. So first we have given BF is equal to 1500 mm, BW is equal to 300 mm, DF is equal to 100 mm, capital D is equal to 750 mm, effective cover is equal to 50 mm, AST is equal to 7 bars of 28 mm dia. These values we have given, and we have given FCK and Fy value also. FCK is equal to 15 Newton per mm square and Fy is equal to 250 Newton per mm square. So these data we have given in our problem. So here we solve this AST part because this value is used many times. So here first we solve AST. We have 7 bars of 28 mm dia. So here we get AST is equal to, after solving this, 4310 mm square. So these values we have, and we have to use these values for finding the moment of resistance and load. So our first criteria is, we know that in flanged beam or T-beam we have three cases. First case is XU is less than DF. Second case is XU is greater than DF but DF is less than 3/7 XU. And third case is XU is greater than DF but DF is greater than 3/7 XU. These three conditions we have, and we don't know which condition is required for solving this problem. So first what we have to do, we have to assume any condition. Means if you want to assume this condition, you assume this condition. If you want to assume this one, then you have to assume this, and if you want to assume this condition, then you have to assume this condition. It's totally depends on you. Here I assume this condition. Here I assume XU is less than DF. Here I assume XU is less than DF. So if here I assume XU is less than DF, so first we have to find actual depth for satisfy this condition, because we have DF value but we don't have XU value. So first we have to find XU value. So XU is equal to 0.87 Fy AST divided by 0.36 FCK BF. This equation is used when we assume XU is less than DF. So here we have to put value 0.87 into 250 into 4310 divided by 0.36 into 15 into 1500. These values we have. Now I have to solve this with the help of KLC and find how much XU we get here. 0.87 into 250 into 4310 divided by 0.36 divided by 15 and divided by 1500. So here I got 115.73 mm. Now here we assume XU is less than DF, but here when we find XU, so what we get here, we get XU is greater than DF, means this condition is fail. This condition is fail. Now what happened? Now we have to find XU again, because from this equation we already know that XU is greater than DF, so we have to find XU value again, because here condition is now XU is greater than DF. So for that we have formula for finding the XU, so that formula we have to use for finding the value of XU. So now our condition is changed. Our condition is now XU is greater than DF. XU is greater than DF. Now when we getting XU is greater than DF, we have to check DF is less than 3/7 XU or DF is greater than 3/7 XU. But this we find after finding the value of XU. So this we see at that time. First we have to find XU. So for that condition we have to find XU, and we have one formula: 0.36 FCK BW XU plus BF minus BW into DF into 0.45 FCK is equal to 0.87 F by AST. Now put values in this equation: 0.36 into 15 into 300 into XU plus 1500 minus 300 into 100 into 0.45 into 15 is equal to 0.87 into 250 into 4310. These values we put in our equation. Now after solving this equation, here we got or get XU is equal to 78.65 mm. Here we get this 78.65 mm. Now you see here we get XU is less than DF. If you compare this XU value with DF, here you find XU is less than DF. But first we assume this condition, and what we have find? We have find XU is greater than DF, because in this condition we have got 115.73 value. So now what happened here? We have got here 78.65 when we use XU greater than DF, and when we assume XU is less than DF, we got 115.73. That means something is happened here. That means our last case is used here. Here we have to use YF instead of DF, means that condition is XU is greater than DF, but DF is also greater than 3/7 XU. That is the condition here we have used. Means we have to change this DF with YF. At that time this may be satisfied our equations. Now let's find with YF. So what we have to do? Simply we have to change here. YF in our equation, because we know that when DF is less than 3/7 XU and DF is greater than 3/7 xu. So when less than we have used df, and for greater than we have used yf. This we already know. So this problem now solve, we have here used yf. So first we have to find the yf. So yf is equal to 0.15 xu plus 0.65 df. This is the value. Yf is equal to 0.15 xu plus 0.65 df. So you have to put yf is equal to this equation, because here we have only one unknown, that is xu. That's why we put yf in the form of xu, and we have value of df. So this equation is put here, yf is equal to this equation. So now put this equation here, and when we put this equation here, now put all values in this equation. 0.36 into 15 into 300 into xu plus 1500 minus 300 into yf. So yf is equal to 0.15 into xu plus 0.65 into 100 into 0.45 into 15 is equal to 0.87 into 250 into 4310. This is the value which we put in our equation. Now after solving this equation, we get xu is equal to 144.94 mm. After solving this equation, here we got xu is equal to 144.94. that means this condition is satisfied. This condition is satisfied means here we have used yf. That means df is greater than 3/7 x. df is greater than 3/7 xu. So here we have to find, now here we calculate xu, and here we find that xu is greater than df, and we also find that xu is greater than df and df is greater than 3/7 xu. So simply now we have to put yf in our moment of resistance equation. So let's find the moment of resistance, and before finding the moment of resistance, first we have to find the section, in which section we have to design, means under reinforced, over reinforced and balance section. So for that we have to find the xu max. So first you have to find the xu max. Here you write, we got here xu is equal to 144.94 mm. Now xu max is equal to, for Fe250 we have value is 0.53 into d. For Fe250 xu max is equal to 0.53 into d. So 0.53 into d. D is the effective depth, but here we have given overall depth. So for finding the effective depth, what we have to do, we have to simply subtract the effective cover. We have to simply subtract the effective cover. So 750 minus 50 means 700. So after calculating or solving these equations, you get here 371 mm is the xu max. So here what you find, xu is less than xu max. That means this section is under reinforced section. This section is under reinforced section. Now you have to analyze for under reinforced section. Okay, so now you write here moment of resistance equation and solve the value of moment of resistance. So moment of resistance equation is 0.36 FCK BW XU D minus 0.42 XU plus BF minus BW into YF into 0.45 FCK D minus YF by 2. D minus YF by 2. So put all values in this equation. 0.36 into 15 into 300 into 144.94, 700 minus 0.42 into 114.94 plus 1500 minus 300. Now YF, here we have to put YF equation is 0.15 into 144.94 plus 0.65 into 100 into 0.45 into 15, 700 minus 0.15 into 144.94 plus 0.65 into 100 divided by 2. Put this in curly bracket. So this is the equation. Now we have to solve this equation. So after solving this equation, we get here moment of resistance is equal to 611.40 kilonewton meter. 611.40 kilonewton meter. So this is the value of moment of resistance for the problem. Now in our question we have asked one value, that is the load, means how much UDL we have to apply for that beam which is 6 meter in span. So we have here total moment of resistance, and moment of resistance is totally dependent on bending moment, means we have the bending moment value, and this bending moment is the factored bending moment. This bending moment value is the factored bending moment. But when you find load, you have to find the load is the unfactored load. So first what we have to do, after calculating the W, we have to unfactor that load. So how we find the load? Let's see. Here 611.40 kilonewton meter is our value. Now we have to find the load. We have to find the load. So we know that for UDL case, bending moment is equal to WL square by 8, and here we have value 611. Bending moment value is 611.40. So this is in kilonewton meter, so we have to convert in Newton into mm. So we have to multiply here with 10 raised to the power 6. Here W we have to find. We have given 6 meter span, and here is the value. Now we have solved this equation, and we got here 135.86 Newton per mm. 135.86 Newton per mm. So this is the factored load. Why this is factored load? Because this is our factored moment. So first we have to unfactor it. So for unfactor it, what we have to do? Simply we have to divide with 1.5. Why? Because for concrete partial factor of safety is 1.5. So we have to divide with this 1.5. So what we got here? We got here, if you divide this part, 90.57 kilonewton per meter. 90. Sorry, this is not Newton, this is kilonewton. This is kilonewton per meter, not mm. kilonewton meter. So W is equal to 135.86 divided by 1.5. Here we got 90.57 kilonewton meter. So this is the load, but in this load we have included self weight, so we have to deduct self weight also. So for finding the self weight, what we have to do, we need a dimension, and that dimension we have to multiply with density of concrete, and for RCC density of concrete is 25. So simply we have to multiply it with dimension. So self weight of beam means here we count the beam part, means this section only. This is the T section, this is the T section, and here we know that this is 100 and this one is the 100, and this overall value is 750. So and this value is 300 mm. So these two beams we have, so we have to find the self weight for this beam. So first we take a flange part, this part. So this is the area, this is 1500. So we convert this part in meter. So here we got 1.5 meter and 0.1 meter, 1.5 meter and 0.1 meter. Plus if you consider this part, so this is the 3, means 0.3 multiply, you have to find this part. So total one is 750 and you have to deduct this 100, means here you got 650. So 0.65. This is the self weight of beam. So after calculating this, you got here 8.625 kilonewton meter. This is the self weight. So final load which is act on a beam is get by this value subtract this value, means 90.57 minus 8.625, here you get 81.94 kilonewton per meter. So this is the value of UDOL which is applied on our beam, which is 6 meter in span. So such types of problem is solved like this. You have to again find the value of XU. So if you know all formulas and all cases, so you easily solve such type of problem. So today's lecture is over, guys. If you have any problem, then comment me in my comment box right now. Thank you for, and today's lecture is over.